I want to do this video to bring your attention to an article I've written, which you can go look at below. Basically saying that there is no such thing as black and white magic. There's just magic. There is no overt polarizing factor in the actual pure streams of energy behind magic. One person's black magic could be another person's white magic. We see this in religion all the time, where we have, suicide bombers blowing up either an abortion clinic or shooting up a nightclub for either Christianity or Islam. In both cases, they think they're attaining salvation by doing this act, and therefore to them it's a form of white magic. It's black magic to the people on the receiving end of this fanaticism. This is why magic really is art and science. Now, art is subjective. We all have different tastes in music, poetry, visual arts, movies, and so on. But there are specific scientific processes that cause the magic to unfold. So, for instance, you have to know how to make a movie in terms of direction, camera usage, sound, editing, production. In order to make movie magic, you need to know how to actually use brushes and paints and materials in order to produce art magic in terms of painting. And also there's an element of talent involved, which is some people are better than others. This is why magic is not for everyone, just like religion is not for everyone. Now, it's very easy for someone coming from a moralistic standpoint, specifically after I posted that article the other day on the Saint Sapien book. So, no, the overwhelming majority of people were mature and healthy about it. That's because the overwhelming majority of my audience are mature and healthy people. They don't come from a dogmatic or brainwashed background. They're genuine truth seekers. There was very few negative reactions anywhere on the internet to it, and where they were put out there, they were usually by biblical people who used their own moral framework of the Bible in order to disparage my discussion on the book, that I should burn it and not even have it. This is purely based on their own subjectivity. There is no, for instance, I point out in this article that the same people who do that are perfectly happy with their own Abrahamic God, telling Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac or to torture Job just for the hell of it, just for an act of devotion to test him. This is black magic to me, but to a Christian, specifically the Christians who may have had a problem with the certain books that I own, that would be white magic. It's all from the moral framework and the moral identity from which you are construing this idea. This is why some people are probably better off in cults, because they can't think in any other way. They need to have a cult leader telling them how to think, that the comet clusters are coming, that the aliens are talking to them through the Ouija board, that the end time is coming, that the Savior is coming, that the aliens are coming. These people need this, because otherwise they cannot function for themselves. That's okay, but the problem is when it develops in a cult mindset, these people then become evangelical, and pathologically evangelical, that they start attacking people, burning books, running smear campaigns, running terror campaigns, espionage and so on against other people. This is white magic to them, but it's black magic to the rest of us who are shocked by this behaviour, because in a cult, the end always justifies the means, while in a pathological individual who is capable of doing magic, the end always justifies the means. For instance, you have these TV evangelists who get caught like fleecing the congregation for millions, having sex with prostitutes, doing drugs, and then they'll turn around and say, well, it was a test by God, therefore it's white magic. What I did ultimately was the right thing, because it was a personal test this person is undergoing. This again is the moral subjectivity of the framework. I tried to point out that magic in its purest form is like an energetic anarchy. It's about the person behind it and what they bring to the table, or bring to the magic circle in this case. If you're a pathological person, you will bring pathological behaviours and manifestations through your magic. If you're a decent person, likewise. And also, very important, the emotional state. I always tell people, if you're about to embark on magic practice or develop an interest in magic, make sure you have an emotional groundedness, that you're not doing it to get revenge on someone, that you're not doing it to out of frustration that the world is in. You've got to take care of the magic circle in your cranium first, before you can actually involve yourself in any wider magic circle. This is the ultimate magic circle. At the very core, the primary magic circle is the cranium, what's inside your own head. If you're not psychically integrated, intellectually integrated, and morally responsible. Now when I say morally, I'm not talking about an overwhelming, subjective, social idea of morals. I'm talking about your own idea of human decency. If you haven't got that together in here, you're not going to get it together out there. And this is very important. And this is why, the primary reason why I came out of the closet, sweeties, on the magic thing, was not to encourage magic, to anything like that, or to say, you know, this is a fascinating thing that's done amazing things in my life. It was more so to generate a mature discussion on the topic. And you can already see that developing in the comments in these YouTube channels, on these YouTube videos I've made on the subject, that we need a mature reflection rather than coming from... This is a problem with the alternative media, and in particular the truther end of the scales. It's all grounded in this Christian framework, Christian morality. We have to tear Christ down from the cross and replace it with our own intellectual notions. We have to remove the Quran from our lives and bring in our own intellectual framework. We have to discard the Torah, and we have to do the same. And the same probably with all the other magic books and all the other religious books. Then, when we have developed a psychic integration without the necessity of these morally subjective works, then at that point we can go back and look at them maturely in a mature way. So for instance, in my own case, well, I never was a Christian or a religious person to begin with, but coming from that, I was able to see that Lucifer was probably actually the good guy in the Bible, and the so-called, in the Old Testament anyway, and the Jehovah God was just a demonic entity, dictator, just like he's mentioned straightforward and clearly in the Jehovah Witnesses Bible that the Jehovah God and God are two different things. And this is stepping back from it and looking at it maturely. And then you can also see the good things as well in there. You can see the good things in the Quran, the good things in the Talmud, the good things in the Bible, and realize they're part of a continuation of wisdom that goes right back to the Druids and beyond. And that's why I have these so-called forbidden books. I mean, the book that I have, that I showed you today, St. Cyprian, is one of many books I have on the subject. Some are worse, in fact. And just by sheer ownership of them, in terms of a Christian belief, I have made a pact with the devil. I have made no pact with any devil. I have only made a pact with my own desire to attain enlightenment while I'm on this earth during the course of this physical lifetime. And I want to encourage other people out there to do the same. So please read the link below. Tell me what you think, and let's continue this dialogue, because I really feel we're unleashing something very powerful, very healing, and very healthy here. And so thank you very much for staying part of this conversation on magic. Thank you.